Hello! Welcome to Two Scoops.
Hello, everyone.
The mostly magic podcast, because it is only mostly magic. Of course, Two Scoops is brought to you by our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Peppermint, available for a limited time. And that limited time runs out like on Friday because it's 2 weeks after Christmas. And
Get your peppermints now.
If you don't get candy cane ice cream now, you're not going to get it ever.
Nope.
You have to wait a year.
Until December.
Like November. They sell it right after Thanksgiving.
You'll have to wait until after Thanksgiving.
Will of the Council, which is only useful in draft. And our Patreon supporters, like you guys, at patreon.com/alchplaysgames, which actually goes this way. You'll notice we have our arms down here. Card recognizer still on manual. I am hoping I can eventually get that fixed. But in the meantime...
Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Yes.
All of you wonderful, lovely people, you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And now, on to the non-magic news.
Yes, so every week, not every week, a week before a new Magic set comes out, so whatever week Magic Prerelease is, Force of Will gets their new set.
Oh.
So this Friday, if you can't wait for Guilds of Ravnica Allegiance, Strangers of New Valhalla is out, which has the rune system coming back into full swing. They don't say how many secret rares there are, because that's how secret rares work. You have to wait till the whole set's out.
Well, that's dumb.
Well, they're secret.
I guess.
Because theirs is common, uncommon, rare, super rare, secret rare. And secret rares are basically their masterpieces. But they don't tell you what's out there.
Okay.
The rest of them they'll tell you. So you know there's 10 super rares in the set. Yeah. This set has Divinity again. Divinity being a system in which if you have a ruler with Divinity, you can put so many rune chants in a separate deck called a rune deck. And in place of pulling out a magic stone, which is their lands, you can pull out a rune, which is basically an enchantment. So it's like every turn you can choose, do I drop a land or do I drop an enchantment that affects the whole board? But you can't have a number of number of runes higher than the divinity of your ruler. So like if you have a ruler with divinity 7, you could have a 3 and a 4, you could have a 7, you could have 7-1. Well, you can't because it's a 5-card deck. But you can't go above 7.
Okay.
So like the 8 divinity runes, can't use them. And if you have more than that number, you have to like start killing off some of your runes to make room for the new ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Easy enough.
Sounds good.
And some of their new stuff looks really, really cool.
It's more anime girls.
Well, it is. It's a very anime-centric game.
If that's your aesthetic, that is okay.
I do sometimes joke that Force of Will is anime titty magic, because sure feels like it sometimes. I'm going to see if I can get a Force of Will card to fall into the card reader here. So let's see if this works. This is the preview card they had up on the news website. Dark Alice Doll. Despite being dark, she's light attribute.
That is weird.
I think it's one of those translation things, though. It's the same thing as like how some of the cards that were made for Chinese audiences are called like the White Fox in English, but it's a blue card.
Okay.
It's one of those things that like in Chinese it makes sense.
Alright.
So this is one of those ones where I think in Japanese it makes sense, but when you translate it to English, we only have dark.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you were watching old fan subs of anime, you'd have Keikaku means plan. Honestly, she's not bad for a 3-will resonator. She's 4/10, which isn't great. She's a 2/5 in Magic, basically.
Okay.
The big thing for her, and I can't read it on our little display here, so I'm going to see if I can read it on their site. She is a fairy tale and a doll. That makes sense. She has flying and drain. Flying is the same as magic. Drain is lifelink.
Okay.
So flying and lifelink. Whenever you gain life, this card deals 200 damage to target opponent or J Resonator. This ability triggers only once per turn. J resonators are like a cross between a planeswalker and a commander. J is judge ruler, resonator is creature. So this is basically deal 1 damage to any target.
Okay.
So like, that's not bad. Lifelink creature with when you gain life, deal 1 damage. That's reasonable. It's decent. I think that's why she's dark. She's part of a white-black strategy. Or darkness-light strategy.
Red's favorite combination, apparently.
It is in Magic.
In
Which
Magic,
honestly,
yes.
out of the colors between Magic and Force of Will, Shadow, Light, and Fire are the same as Black, White, and Red. But Blue and Green and Water and Wind are nothing alike each other. Because, well, no, it's like you cut off the support half of Green and stuck it onto Blue. And
like
took
Blue
off...
needed it.
Well, no, but then you take the freezing and bouncing off of Blue.
And give it to?
What's left of Green. So water is big creatures that bounce and freeze.
That doesn't seem fair.
Well, no. Green's the superpowered one.
Yeah.
Because Green is control with ramp. We have a while ago. Well, it's...
Gosh darn it, Wisebot.
No, Wisebot says we are. Twitch says we are. I think it's the Xbox app that's acting up. Refresh Twitch. Red's in the other room trying to monitor the chat. We're still getting updates on our end. That's weird. Twitch is on my end saying everything's going perfectly fine. I'm going to check my phone real quick. There it is. I have a feeling Red's computer just doesn't interact well with Twitch. Okay. I mean, there's a delay, but there shouldn't be a 15-minute delay.
Anyway.
Alright. So Red's having issues.
So, anything else happening in non-Magic news?
That's really about it. Over in Magic news, I know there were some bands that were given out recently, and a lot of people are miffed because it's not the bands they wanted. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well...
In the meantime, let's do this craft pack.
So, we rolled a 16, and in our box, 16 was Masters 25.
Does it say anything on the back?
No.
Oh, no. That one was one of the ones we picked up.
So if you want to share with us your favorite pack of Magic...
send us a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter, and we will give you a shipping address. We don't want to put it out publicly right now, because we're still working on getting an actual P.O. box.
Okay,
Oh,
so...
I do have one bit of Magic news.
Oh.
The proxy guy does giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
And I won a proxy to Fairies Protection.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
When that comes in, I will be certain to show it to all of you.
Yeah. All right, so in our Masters 25 pack, we have Knight of the Skyward Eye.
All right, give me a second to pull it up.
He is a 2/2 for 1 and a white, human knight creature. For 3 and a green, Knight of the Skyward Eye gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. It's a bitter version of my Root Walla.
A little bit, yeah.
That's lovely. I do love my Root Wallas. Red hates my Root Wallas. For obvious reasons.
Oh, why is it going to multi-twitch? I hit a button.
You did hit a button.
Oh, well.
Next. Ready?
Yes.
We have Dirge of the Dread.
Okay. I know of that card now. It has a really cool art with all the skeletons.
Yeah, that is really cool. For 2 and a black, you get a sorcery where all creatures gain fear until end of turn, and it has cycling 1 and a black. You can discard it and draw a card for 1 and a black.
When you cycle it.
When you cycle it, you may have target creature gain fear until end of turn, so that's
not bad. Fear is a weird mechanic. Fear and Intimidate are both weird. I can see why Menace replaced it.
Yeah.
Menace is much easier to keep track of.
That's true.
Alright.
Next, we have Balduvian Horde. For 2 and a red, you get a 5/5 human barbarian creature. When Balduvian Horde enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you discard a card at random.
That used to be a rare.
Well, now it can join its friends in the popper boxes.
It is a pauper card. And I know that because I was making a pauper cube and tried to figure out what would the rares be. Because when I build cubes, I like to put in normal pack distribution. Because I'm a weirdo.
Alright, next we have God's Willing. For a white, you get an instant. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Scry 1. So that's pretty nice.
That's not bad. Oh no, come back. Now one thing you might notice, the set symbols are the watermarks. The set it was first published in.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so in Masters 25, since it was 25 years of Magic, it was every set up until Dominaria. So there's a couple Rivals cards, I think, that are in there.
That's pretty cool.
It might have been every set up to Rivals. But, like, you'll see, like, that one's Theros. Let's see here.
Balduvian Horde is flag.
Alliances. That would be...
Spider.
Onslaught?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay.
And
that's
this one's Shards.
Shards of Alara, yeah. Okay. What do we got
cool.
next? Hey, Angel Pangel.
Hi, Angel Pangel.
We're doing our Crack-a-Pack. And we have a top-down camera now.
Next, we have Cultivate. For 2 and a green, you get a sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library.
Cultivate. This one. Oh yeah, you have that one in your dragon deck, don't you?
I believe I do, because I've made sure that all of my... play this card, pull 2 cards, put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand.
Right.
I've made sure to put as many of those as I possibly can that still require singletons.
You need color fixing. That one was M11?
Yep, that one was from M11.
Okay.
Alright, next, we have Horseshoe Crab.
Urza Saga.
For 2 and a blue, you get a 1/3 crab. For a blue, you can untap Horseshoe Crab. So that's pretty cool.
It's a crab.
It's a crab.
And I like that it's blue, because blue's sea creatures. But can I just share some pointless trivia? You know what color a horseshoe crab's blood is?
Blue?
It is blue. And they have to use their blood to make certain vaccines. To test certain vaccines. They don't kill the crab.
Oh.
The crabs just give blood.
Okay.
So they show up on shore to mate, they kidnap the crabs, steal some of their blood, put them in a nice ice bath to cool down. It's kind of like going to Tijuana, and then put them back out into the wild.
I've never been to Tijuana.
Neither have I.
I don't think I want to go now.
No, sorry. It's the urban legend. People would tell people to make sure they don't go to Tijuana. So you'll wake up in a bathtub full of ice with your kidneys missing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. But no, the horseshoe crabs are very, very important medically. Sadly, the untapped horseshoe crab does not reflect that. He's a decent jump blocker if you have nothing else.
Yeah. Alright, next we have Court Hussar.
Hussar.
Hussar. For 1 and a blue, you get a 1/3 Vidalcan Knight. With Vigilance, when Court Hussar enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them onto your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
I'm happy she's here. I know you do.
Do you want to be on screen to tell Mama Bird how much you love her? Hi, Mama Bird! Okay.
I find it funny you're doing the look at me while I'm on TV thing. You are on the show literally 4 times a week. This is partially your show.
I know.
You're acting like a weirdo at Times Square. Okay.
Anyway.
So yes, Court Hussar.
So when he enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless white was spent to cast it.
Okay, so yeah, so he's an Azorius Knight. I want to say the Hussars are basically cops, but sadly the Azorius would never allow the 9/9.
Nope.
And it's the Dissension watermark, so it kind of looks like 3 inappropriate toys. It's not. That's the guild pact being broken.
Next, we have Noble Templar. For 5 and a white, you get a 3/6 human cleric soldier. Holy crap, that's a lot of sections.
Okay, wait.
He has vigilance, planes cycling, 2. So you can discard him.
Oh, he's from
your library
Scourge.
for planes cards.
Okay, so Scourge was like the third. It was part of the first multicolor block.
Ah.
So like everyone knows Ravnica's the multicolor block, but that was the second one.
Oh.
The first one was Invasion, and the last one's Scourge, and Scourge was supposed to be the dragon expansion, and it had a total of 5 dragons in the whole damn thing.
That's lame.
That's not enough to make it the dragon expansion.
No.
But Scourge was supposed to be enemy colors,
Okay.
but they realized how hard it was to pull off enemy colors at the time, because that was the first enemy color set.
Yeah.
So plane cycling was there, because it's you can see it, it's pay 2, find a planes. It's to help you get back into white. Yeah, it's the lame dragon expansion, Chuck, exactly. Like, as bad as Dragons of Tarkir is compared to Khans, when if you're comparing Dragons of Tarkir to Dragon's Maze or to Scourge, it's the best one for dragons. A lot of good dragons in Dragons of Tarkir. It's not great at being... I'm very much looking forward to the eventual war for Tarkir.
Yeah!
Because then we'll get dragons versus humans, and fingers crossed there will be weird enemy color dragons, but I don't know.
Right.
Yes, that Templar is made out of light. Because the Scourge block took place during the Phyrexian invasion when weird shit happened. Yeah, Dragon's Draft is really good. It's just, I noticed a lot of people trash-talking it because they're comparing it to Khans. Which I don't think is fair.
Well, I will admit, I would have loved to have all of the Dragon Lords in my Dragon deck. But I needed to put the baby forms in there because one of them does not play.
Yeah, Dragon Lord Kolagon
Singleton very
sucks for Commander unless you have a bunch of those black multi cards in, like Rat Colony, the Cultist Lady.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name, but the one who's like kill 6 of her, get a demon. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So next we have Death's Head Buzzard. From the same set as Noble Templar. For 1 and a black, you get a 2/1 bird creature with flying. When Death's Head Buzzard dies, all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. So that's
Death's Head
nice.
Buzzard. Yeah, it's just a creepy ass buzzard. He's also from Scourge.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Like the white-black synergy right there is not too bad in this pack.
And for
Stop that, you! You stay in there!
Alright, and for our last common in this pack, we have Frenzied Goblin. For a red, you get a 1/1 Goblin Berserker. Whenever Frenzied Goblin attacks, you may pay a red. If you do, target creature can't block this turn.
Oh, that's actually not bad. You combine that with, like, Goblin Motivator to give him haste? I can see that working early game. I'd go for it.
Yeah.
A lot of skirt, and that one's Ravnica. But,
Yeah.
Alright, and then who we got in our uncommons?
Alright, so our uncommons, we have Deadly Designs.
That's Conspiracy.
For 1 and a black, you have an enchantment. For 2, put a plot counter on Deadly Designs. Any player may activate this ability. When there are 5 or more plot counters on Deadly Designs, sacrifice it. If you do, destroy up to 2 target creatures.
Okay. So, not too bad.
If you really want to team up on one person who maybe has an indestructible,
Yeah.
or a very hard to kill
It'd be very hard to kill,
monster.
because it says destroy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Indestructible would stop this.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is a Master's Pack, so there's no land, or if there is a land, it's a special. It's going to be an extra foil.
Ah.
Alright, so what do we got for that?
So next, our next uncommon is Lore Scale Quaddle. For 1 and a green-blue, you get a 2/2 snake. Whenever you draw a card, you may put a 1/1 counter on Lore Scale Quaddle. Oh snap.
That's a noodle.
Oh snap.
Whenever you draw a
That
card...
is strong noodle.
Well, he's in blue-green, which is about drawing cards and getting counters.
And he does
even
both.
in this thing, that's kind of what blue-green's trying to do. We're getting to this thing, by the way. That's kind of what blue-green's trying to do. I think we need to put energy back in, but just in blue-green. Yeah, this snake is great. Especially with the amount of cantrips you could put in here.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be fun. Doesn't Court Hussar do something when you draw cards?
No, it's just when he enters the battlefield.
Oh, okay. I thought he had something about cards. Alright.
He does have something about cards, but when he enters the battlefield, you look at the top 4.
Brainstorm's in this set. So if you were drafting this, you could get Brainstorm, which is like draw 3 cards.
Oh.
You have to put 2 back, though. Not that Brainstorm.
But you draw 3 cards, and that activates this.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, next on our uncommons, we have Ash Barrens. A land. Tap and add colorless. It has basic land cycling. 1.
So
you can look for a basic land.
Yeah, so late game, you put this down to be colorless. Early game, you need color fixing. It's color fixing. It's not bad. Could be better. Could be worse.
And
what's our rare?
To screw over those who want to keep track of as many mountains as they possibly can, we have Blood Moon.
Oh.
For 2 and a red, you get an enchantment that says non-basic lands are mountains.
No, you know why you do that one.
Why?
Because now your Ash Barrens is a mountain and it only taps for red mana.
Well, there you go.
But you do that on all the 2-color lands. Especially if your opponent has a bunch of shock lands and they already shocked themselves for it.
Mm-hmm.
Look up. Sorry, look down. Look up. Your dual lands are now mountains. But I'm playing blue. Fuck you! We're in red control now.
Oh, apparently it also loses the cycle ability?
It would also lose its cycle ability. It's just one of those weird ones to use because of it.
Okay.
And what's our foil?
For our sparkly, we get Epic Confrontation.
All bears, straight punched.
Target creature, it is for 1 and a green, you get a sorcery. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control.
Yes.
So that's nice.
I mean, it's a common in this set, but still helpful. And I think you have Epic Confrontation in your Dragon deck.
No, I took it out.
Oh, okay. Let's say if you did, when we're done with the Crack Cube, there's a foil one right there.
Yep.
Can you just put on the camera so people what the token is?
Alright. And our token is Soldier.
And I can't
1/1 soldier.
No, put it here so people can see it. It's upside down.
Sorry.
There we go. Very
nice. 1/1
nice.
soldier.
It's just a nice little soldier. It's fine. Okay. Oh, let me close these. That might be why.
And so now I'm going to open up this Cubamajig. Thank you, Cardamajigs, for sending us these.
I mean, we bought them, but
after we ordered them.
But still, thank you for being very quick on the shipping.
We're going to put these into the Cubamajig.
Oh, I don't think I've actually looked at that art in detail.
It's very pretty.
Like, that looks like a cool cityscape.
It is a very cool cityscape.
Like, you could use that in an Innistrad cube, you could use it in a Ravnica cube.
Take a look.
Oh, you know what? This is Ishtan's art. I fucking love... And if this is Ishtan's art, that literally is supposed to be Ravnica. In fact, let me see here. Yeah, art by Ishtan.
Huh.
Right there. So, right. Ishtan is a really, really cool artist. If you don't already follow her stuff, do so. She's awesome. We're going to talk a little bit about different limited events. So, some of you haven't played Magic before because you're coming over here due to the cross-pollination of art or PlayStation games or Nintendo games or whatever, right? Because we do multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to learn how to play Magic. Well, this weekend is a pre-release, which is one of the many limited formats that you can play. And basically, when it comes to limited formats, Chuck, you fucking liar. Alright, let's put it this way. In this chat, I believe, at least the people who have been talking, I know for a fact both Chuck and Red play Magic, because both of you were in the same GP event with me last summer. But Mama Bird probably has not played Magic, if I remember correctly. I might be thinking of Tiny Tiny Dog, though, who pops in sometimes. Ooh. Anyway, so we have constructed formats. Constructed formats you're typically going to see in one of two forms. One is 60 card constructed, and the other one's 100 card constructed. Now, that's really just like your bottom limit. You can go over, but it's frowned upon, and the individual tournaments you're in will tell you what the specific rules are. But for the most part, you have your constructed formats. I'm just going to do these real quick. In Legacy, you can do any card other than their banned list.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage is... And watch, Chuck's going to tell me I got Legacy and Vintage confused. Vintage is anything before 8th edition. Modern is anything from 8th edition forward. Frontier, which doesn't exist anymore, is anything from Cons block forward. And Standard is anything from fall 2 years ago to now.
Mm.
Okay. So... Oh, well, Chuck doesn't play Constructed, so he doesn't know. Alright. So those are your 60 card formats. You're allowed 60 cards in your deck. If it doesn't say basic on it, or it doesn't have a specific rule saying otherwise, you can only put 4 of each card in your deck. Other than Vintage, which has some cards that are called restricted, where you can only have 1. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have single card or 100 card formats, which typically you're, with the exception of basic cards and cards that say otherwise, you can only have 1 of each in your deck. Brawl is kind of a weird one because it's 60 cards, but you're only allowed 1 because it's a 60 card singleton.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's confusing. Limited, that's where the fun is. And Limited comes in 3 formats: Pack Wars, Draft, and Sealed. That's it. That's all the Limited that exists. There's variations within. Kind of like saying that all pets are cats, birds, or dogs. And that's not true, but in a normal pound, that's what you would find.
Yeah.
Not a lot of lost hamsters show up in the pound.
We understand that lizards also count as pets, but for the sake of our conversation today, we're keeping the lizards out.
Yes. Lizards are your constructed formats. They've been around forever. And they have a bunch of esoteric rules about washing your hands and not licking them. Meanwhile, Paigao was a Pack Wars style. Right. So you have Pack Wars, which Pack Wars you can play with any number of packs. It opens on your end, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Here, now
Pack Wars you can open with any number of packs. Draft is typically going to be 3 or 4. Sealed is going to be 6 or more. This is my cube. What is a cube? A cube is for limited play with your friends with a reusable set of cards. Now, I'm not 100% happy with this cube yet, so we're not going to do a cube draft yet. I'm still rebalancing blue-green, and one of my bombs in here I think is too strong compared to the others. So my options are bring up the other planeswalkers to his level, which probably isn't going to happen, or kick him out and either put in a custom card, which is what I'm thinking of resorting to at this point, or just replace it with an artifact of the appropriate level. Okay, I'm ignoring Chuck right now for the Momir cube answer, but Momir counts as a limited environment, Chuck. So Momir has no packs, but requires a Momir device, or can only be played digitally. And one thing I would love to build, it would require me to get my hands on a Raspberry Pi, a Wi-Fi adapter, and an old receipt printer. But I would love to make a Momir machine.
Okay.
But we're not working with that right now.
Red, you can't have an advanced dino pet because we are not allowed pets in this house.
They are, and I want one too, and I miss having a bird. But no, if you want birds that badly, on Friday when the rain relents, go fill up the bird feeder. And get a net.
Anyway.
Chuck, I'm going to argue that Momir is a limited event. Just because your deck can only be made of 60 basic lands doesn't mean that it's not limited because you're being given random cards, which is the essence of limited. So, here's how we're going to go over the three different formats. You have Pack Wars, where you only need one. You could do more. You could do less. You only need one.
I've actually never played Pack Wars.
Yes, you have.
I have?
I bought a box, a bundle of 2019 when you were dog sitting for your mom.
Okay.
And I came down the hill.
Uh-huh.
And wait, were you just doing this as a bit to get us into explaining Pack Wars?
Partially.
Or did you actually forget that we played Pack Wars?
I think I forgot we played Pack Wars.
I bought the box of 10 2019s and the lands that came with it. And we each got 5 lands of each type. And you just opened a pack and shuffled them.
Oh.
You remember that now?
Not really.
And we opened the bear and you went, oh, Peter would like this.
Oh. I remember that.
Okay.
Hi, Vasane.
Alright, so. How many is that? That's 7?
2, 4, 6, 7.
Alright, let's get rid of that 7. Put them in here. Throw them back in the box. Alright, great. So, Pack Wars is very straightforward. All of these you're going to need to get lands. Now, if you don't have lands, you're screwed. But, if you've been playing a while, you probably have a land base. If you don't have a land base, Amazon sells them for like 15. But if you're brand new, go buy a deck builder's toolkit, because that comes with a land base. What is a land base? It's a bunch of lands. Magic needs lands to work. A third of your deck should be lands in a constructed format, and a little bit less than a third in a limited format.
It's going to be hard to get them.
Except for...
You're going to be right in front of the camera.
And if I crouch down, I won't.
1 second. Because apparently Red forgot there were chocolates in here. Actually, can you give me the grabby? It's behind the couch. That would probably handle it. Yes, you can also get some free intro decks from your LGS. Those come with lands.
Friendly local game store.
Not everyone has a local game store. Or if they do, it's like over an hour away. That's our situation. But... And if you get starter decks, you probably don't... You won't know what colors you're getting. Should be the blue couch. If it's not there, then we don't have a grabber anymore.
Time to go back to Harbor Freight.
Yep.
And get another one.
Probably.
Anyway,
so if we were playing Pack Wars, what we would do... Oh, did you grab another box out?
no, I grabbed one of them over here.
Okay.
Did not find the grabber.
Just don't do the Mission Impossible thing.
I'm not doing it in Mission Impossible.
Dun, 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 dun,
Just
dun,
take your
dun,
dang chocolates you
dun,
left in here for a week.
dun,
All right.
dun, dun.
So, what you would do is you would take a
Goodbye,
pack
Red.
of cards. These are from my cube. Your pack, you would probably just buy a pack, like the kind of use for the crack pack. You'd shuffle it up with you wouldn't even look at it. You'd shuffle it up with 5 of each basic land type, not wastes, because those only existed in... I think they're only in Oath of the Gatewatch. They might have been in Battle for Zendikar, I'm not sure. Shuffle them up, and then you would play against each other like a normal game of Magic. In that you would you would draw cards, you would play them, you'd have to pay for their mana costs. Just like normal. It's an easy way to play. I've never played Pai Gao Pack Wars, so I can't answer on how that one works.
See, I think this is why I think that we've never played Pack Wars. Is because I'm, like, for some reason, convinced that to play Pack Wars, it's like you pull out the first card. Okay, oh, I got...
That's the other type of Pack Wars.
Oh, okay.
The other type is the shuffle up the pack you just got, which we'll do right now, why not? And then we'll redistribute these when we're done with the stream.
Yeah.
And also, I want to work on this a little bit, so it's fine. And then you would flip over the top card, and whoever has the higher... It's basically clashing from Lorwyn. Whoever has the higher converted mana cost wins.
Mine wins.
You win that one, so let's go to the next one.
Oh,
Yeah, you add them together. So I'm at... So I have 3, a green, and a 1, so that's 6.
I'm at 8.
You're at 8. I'm at 9. Christ! You're at
7,
13?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14. I'm at 6 plus 6 is 12, 15.
I'm still winning. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into some decent.
So, wait. What are you at? Yeah, it goes like this until you're through the pack. Whoever had the higher pack
4,
wins.
8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23, and I'm at 6, 12, 15, 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. What are you at?
26.
25. Jesus. I mean, that would be a terrible pack to have for sealed, but for pack wars, you're kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I mentioned to Red earlier that Ravnik and Minotaurs always read as Scottish to me, so that's why guild kilts are there. Best 2 out of 3, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 10. Yeah, pack wars kind of works out like that. Really, what you're doing is it's highest total out of 15, but you go one at a time. Just because it's meant to burn time. I think almost every card you've pulled is higher cost than mine. I have a bunch of 1-drops in here.
Holy smokes! Oh, I have a 1-drop! Finally! Oh, another 1-drop! I'm excited! Oh, another 1-drop! I'm extra excited. A land. And 3.
Alright.
Did I
So,
win?
I think you did. I'm not dealing with it right now. You would add them all up. Whoever had the most wins. But yeah. My cube specifically is good for messing around like that, because I put my distribution the same as a normal pack. I'm going to put mine here right now. Don't do that for right now, because you pulled that from our sealed pool. We're going to use that in the seals in a second.
Okay.
All right. Draft. We are not doing Rip It or Flip It, Chuck. I can appreciate doing that. I am not doing that with my cube.
No. We'll do it with proxies.
I might do it with a pack of Homelands just for kicks and giggles. But I'm personally not a Rip It or Flip It person. Other people are. That's fine. You're just bringing the cost of the cost of my cards up. Draft, you would use with 3 packs. Normally you would do this with 6 to 8 people. Alright, you're allowed to think it's stupid. Whatever. The way this one would work is you would open a pack. And you look at it and you go, You have to hum. It's important. It's part of the set. Yes, Skeksis level humming.
Yep.
Very important. Then I would pick a card. And then I would pass them up. And I would pass them to the person on my left.
That's me!
And then that person would pass me a pack as well.
Well, I
And
didn't
then I would
open
go
a pack,
through
so
theirs, and I would pick one,
deal with
and
it.
I'd put it there, and normally you have to wait. If you're at a tournament level, they give you time limits of pass, now pick up. You have 45 seconds to pick a card.
Well, that's why I think that one's not okay.
And of course, since you're doing this with like 6 to 8 people, it's going to kind of even out nicely, and you're going to be able to make a decent deck. Now, if we were doing this with just 2 people, which that's how many we have, this also works well for 3, we could Winchester draft it instead.
Want you to come into Winchester draft?
No. You can Winchester when we do our actual Winchester draft, Red.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm taking this one.
You could also do a draft with 16. Visain, what do you mean, does that work how it sounds? That I don't know. So, what did you pick out of that pack, just out of curiosity?
Dromoka's Monument.
Oh, alright. You see, I wouldn't do that as my first pick. Oh no, don't put it away yet. We're going to show out a Winston.
Okay.
So, you open these. I'll open these. Put them all in the middle. We're going to shuffle these up. We're going to have to put my we're going to have to resort my cube. when we're done, because
such
the
hardship.
way I do it, you have to sort them ahead of time. I love these Cubamajigs.
They are
They're great.
neato.
So, either way, what you would do is once all the packs are used up, you would build your deck with the cards you pulled. You want a 40-card deck. You want about, 14 lands? No, that's not right. 18 lands. Winston, on the other hand, shuffle those up for me, will you? This is better for when when you have less people. Okay, I still don't know what Visane meant, so I'm waiting to answer that question. Yeah, Winston drafting, very, very fun. It's our personal method because we don't have a lot of players up here in the Mojave. If you find yourself in the Mojave Desert, let us know. We'll do some drafts. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
But that's part of the reason why I kind of preferred sealed. Was just because I don't need another person. I need one other person to make a sealed deck.
Yeah.
For a draft, it's an issue. So, once you're all done shuffling, which I think one more splice should do it. Yeah, like that. Perfecto. You put the stack right in the middle. And then you make 3 little stacks of 1 card each. And then each person taking turns, you decide who goes first. Let's go by who's hairiest. That's me. I'd look at the first one and go, "Ooh, that looks alright. I don't think I want it." And then you put another card on top. And look at this one and go, "Ooh. Yeah, that one's good." So I would take that one, I'd replace it. I don't even get to look at the third one. Mikella gets to look at the stack of 2 first.
That's sick.
And she gets to determine if she wants to take both of those or wait on them and see what's in these 2 stacks.
I'll take both of these, thank you.
Chuck, that would be fun once. Alright, so, and then you keep doing this until the stack is gone. Normally you're
until
picking...
this stack.
Yeah, until this stack is gone. The little stacks will be gone too. Once all the cards are grabbed by a person, then you build your decks, and then you play against each other. It's a fun way to kind of mix things up. What did you pick, by the way? I know one was the Glitter Dust Hulk. What else did you grab? Oh, Ward Scale Dragon. You know what? That tells me right there, go into blue-white.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one blue-white by itself, nah. But when it pairs that nicely, and I think those 2 have decent effects together.
Whenever another artifact comes into play under your control, Glass Dust Hulk gets +1/+1 until end of turn and is unblockable this turn.
Nah.
And Ward Scale Dragon has flying. As long as Ward Scale Dragon is attacking, defending player can't cast spells.
Oh yeah, so he's protecting you and the other one's unblockable, and it's just a nice way to move it.
Yeah.
I want to say blue-white in this is flyers with some artifact matters. Okay, so we're just going to put that off to the side. And in fact, we're going to put these other Cubamajigs off to the side as well. For sealed, and this is the important one right now, sealed is going to be, are you putting them all together?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Sealed is you're going to be given 6 packs.
Is that 6?
This is 5. I think you're holding the 6th pack. Just grab another one. So some packs might have cats with hats on them. Maybe you would grab all 6. And I'm only going to go through the process with the first pack or 2 here to kind of help you out here. And by the way, Prerelease, which is this weekend, is also a sealed event, except you're giving 1 extra card. And that card is your promo, and you're allowed to use that too. But I would go through this and go, okay, I got a white card, I got a blue card, I got a black card, I got a red card, I got a green card. All of my cube packs are seeded, by the way. And I got another black card, I got an artifact, I got a black card, blue card, artifact, green card, white card, artifact, red land. Okay, well, this pack's kind of all over the place. I got the blue-green mana fixer, the any color mana fixer, an any color mana fixer, and an any color mana fixer. So this is telling me I'm going to be okay going into multiple colors.
Yeah.
But I already have some support for blue-green. But, like, here, my blue and green don't look great.
Well, open up your
Let's open up our next pack and see what happens. Like, our uncommons, we got we got one of the blue-green uncommons that it's almost indicating go into there, but I don't know. That one's technically red, even though it's an artifact because it needs red mana to do its thing. I'm seeing green sticking around, honestly. Just from looking at these. But black and white are both looking good, too. Ooh, and there's our black-white uncommon. And there is a 3-color rare, but there's a blue-green land. So, like, between these two packs, I don't know which way to go. Because I'm pulling some packs that are better for blue-green, some packs better for white-blue. I will tell you one thing that for white-black. I'll tell you one color I am not sold on right now, and that's red. But maybe that's just me. That's weird, because I love playing red. Oh, there's a 3-color uncommon. Oop, there's a good white-black. There's another color fixer. I think I got all of the color fixers. Well, shit. We're going 5-color good stuff. Just shove it in a pile. No. I bet you would look at this, you try to figure out what you want to do. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm currently doing a show. I can't have my eyes on the chat all the time. Especially when it's your job to have your eyes on the chat, Red.
I do have my eyes on the chat.
Then don't be yelling at me for not looking at it, because that's your job.
No, I'm yelling at you because you were...
Where are you sending the comic? To my phone.
Speaking of phones, mine buzzed.
And this is something that's worth interrupting the show for.
I'm saying you're rude because you're saying that you don't appreciate red.
Ah.
Here, man.
Well, let's see here.
Oh, yes.
Delay. What do you want?
Why are
Anyway.
you sending me a comic right now? Ugh. So many things to clear out of the phone. Why would you send me this? Okay. Alright, anyway, moving on. So yeah, so you would do this through all 6 packs, and then you would build your deck around it. So yeah, there we go.
Sometimes, like, I remember when, we were doing the Dominaria
Yes.
pre-release.
Yes.
I didn't know the set very well. But
Yeah,
I
pre-releases you're not gonna.
Yeah, but I did know about one of the sagas that they were adding to the set, and I got it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go all in with this blue artifact matters deck. Because I had the, what was it? I'm blanking on what it was now.
I don't remember either. You had,
I had one of the sagas that basically turned all of your artifacts into 5/5s.
The Antiquities War.
Yeah, there you go. So I pulled Antiquities War, and I'm like, oh, I am totally using this.
That seems like something you'd do.
But sometimes the cards don't always play in your favor. That night it did. I was very proud and happy. Because I did kick some butt and take names.
Okay, we're just going to resort these packs all together.
Yeah.
Anyway. There we go. So, yeah, so if you go to pre-release, you'll get 6 packs worth of cards, plus a promo. Make a deck with a bunch of cards nobody's played with before. And you can take it home. And then if you win, you get more packs of cards. And it just starts this horrible crack-like addiction for you as well. And what's wrong with that? Yeah, so, I mean, limited formats are a lot of fun. One that I've been experimenting with, and we're going to be doing this a little bit every Friday over the course of the month. We already did the first one, is what we've been calling Booster Battle League. Mm-hmm. Which is a combination of a sealed league and old sealed rules. Because under the old sealed rules, you have... The current sealed rules are the 6 packs. The old rules was you were given a... Oh gosh, what did they call it? A challenge deck or a starter or a tournament deck or whatever it was called, in 2 packs. So what we've done is we've taken the booster battle box, which is 2 welcome decks and 2 booster packs that's meant to be used to teach you how to play the game. They're like $10. And we put them together to make what is basically a sealed pool. That's basically shoving you into 2 random colors.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, cheap way to get some cards in. It's fun. Part of the reason we did this is because a lot of people don't live near friendly local game stores. It's insane to hear, I know. But there just are none around them. So, they have 2 options when it comes to playing. They can either play digital, or they can pick up the cards from Walmart or Target. Or GameStop. Because not everyone can go to their game store. So, we got these at GameStop. We can go to a game store, but we did it for the sake of the experiment. We looked at our welcome decks. We passed 1 color to the person on our left. We opened both of our packs, and we built our decks. And then at the end of each match, we get a new pack of any pack, and we put it in there, and we go. And I think it's working out pretty well so far. We're getting some interesting stuff.
Unfortunately, there is one downside to this Battle League.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when we opened these packs, or opened these decks and packs, we did that, like, I want to say about a month before we actually started recording
At
us
least.
playing the games.
At least.
And somebody who is usually pretty organized has misplaced her what it would be called?
Your sideboard. Yeah.
So yeah, I am playing with essentially
2 packs less.
Yeah.
Now, I made you a deal. I made you 2 deals, and you didn't go for either of them.
You did, because here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that as the game progressed, and the more packs I opened, I'd build up that...
The difference would be less.
Yeah.
That 1 versus 3 is a big difference compared to 4 versus 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Or 3 versus 5, I think, is what it'll end up being.
But anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah. I can see where you're coming from.
Red did win 2 of those games.
Yes.
Good job, Red.
Currently, Red's at 2. I'm at 1. Mikella's at 0. This coming Friday, we get rematches with our updated decks. And we'll see if that changes things. But yeah, so that's sealed formats for you.
Yep.
Good way to learn how to play. Good fun way just to play with your friends. I mean, buying a box and drafting is a lot of fun. We have some drafts we still need to do. Making a cube is a good way to do it as well. If you can't if you don't have the time to build a cube, but you have the money, you can get a starter cube from Card Kingdom, and it costs like $20 less than a box. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
And it's not like how mine is, where it has the pack distribution.
Yeah.
But that's fine. And then you pick up some Cubamajigs for like $20, the $20 you saved on the box. And you can get these nice little reusable packs. They're very, very nice.
They are.
Yes, so if you are watching us live, stick around. We've got a few things after the show. If you are not watching us live, we're at the end. So, once again, thank you to our sponsors, which are behind the card identifier. Candy Cane Ice Cream, available for a limited time. That's why I did that, yes. Nope, that's not it. Will of the Council, because George of the Jungle was taken. No. Specifically a mechanic from Conspiracy meant for drafting. It was limited, it all made sense. And our Patreon and Twitch supporters, so by clicking that little subscribe button, or going to patreon.com/AlchPlaysGames, you too can help us in continuing to make new stuff. the money you put into the show goes back into the show. We kind of just circulate it. It helps keep our equipment up to date. It helps buy new cards for us to put into decks or into hordes. It helps us spend the time we need to make the shows for you. Because surprisingly, even with just doing streaming, there's a lot more back end than I think a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are not on Twitch, you are on the YouTubes.
Yes.
Hello, YouTube people. Welcome. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that wonderful jazziness.
Yep.
Hit the bell notifications, because I think YouTube is still having
YouTube's making it worse and worse as they go.
Yeah, and YouTube's having notification issues, but so make sure you hit that bell so you can get notified when we upload a new video. Yeah.
Right, so we will catch you all
on
later.
the flip side.
Thank you for... What?
Catch you on the flip side.
All right. We'll see you next week. Make sure you come back on Friday for our next episode of the Booster Battle League.